Futures and options on futures trading involve substantial risk and is not a suitable investment for all types of investors. Past results are not necessarily indicative of future results. When I use the word I in this video, it refers to what I teach in my charting course or what I author in my twice daily oral and written updates. Prices shown on charts and quote boards are in real time and take into account all known activity up to this point in time. And if you'd like to read more of this disclaimer, simply hit the pause key on your video player.
Good day, all. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your metals market update for this Wednesday, and this is the 2nd of May, 2018, about 2:50 p.m. Central Daylight Time. What a difference an hour and 50 minutes make. After the Fed statement came out, where the Fed actually sounded to me a bit dovish, gold had rallied, silver had rallied. They've given up all those rallies, a big chunk of it in most of these markets. You know, copper's a different world. We've got our trade partners meeting with our delegation, actually, meeting with our Chinese trade partners, and everybody's arrived. Do they get on a plane and come right home? Do they get anywhere in the talks that they're having? There's no way to know. We're going to find out. If it doesn't go well, I can understand the stock market selling off. Now, the Fed today came out, and basically, I think the Fed said it's hit its goal of full employment, and inflation has hit its target. To me, that doesn't sound like 3 rate hikes. In addition, they are looking at other situations. Now, you've got to be looking, do we have a trade war? You've got to be looking at oil, what's going to happen there. The good news is that because of the strong dollar, and it is strong, it came roaring back, and with that roar back, it hit the gold market. With that strong dollar, it's a deterrent to inflation. Other countries are talking of easing. Read what the ECB is talking about. You get a feel. The Brits, they're not doing anything right now either. The Chinese, they'll play their currency game on you left and right. They manipulate their currency. It's that simple. And in fact, I was looking at it go a little bit today. I was laughing as I was looking at it rally right in front of the meeting with Treasury Secretary Mnuchin and his band of elves, as I'll call them. The gold weekly chart, you're still in trouble. This market's down to 13.0510 as a low. I take that back. You're making new lows for the week as we're talking here. But remember, it's for a week if you closed here. You're already closed. You're not going to be that low. I saw it, and I'm not going to share it with you, but you're not down to that number on a close. Look at how you've just leaked away. I pointed something out on the floor yesterday and today as I was down there having meetings with different technicians. And I see Rick Santali, all the people that are on the floor here. And I tried to point out to them, we haven't had an up day, a higher high day in gold in almost 2 weeks plus. That's very, very negative. They're not letting the bulls out in any manner. That's what it shows. Every rally's getting met with selling on it. Somebody wants out of the gold market, and that's what's been going on. Now, we're having and going to have today, from the looks of it, unless gold falls hard in the next few minutes, an inside day. But if it gets through 13.0230, even though the settlement's already known, you won't have an inside day. You'll still be dropping down. I moved, in the meantime, the arrow pointing up because I don't know in the next 10 minutes or actually the next hour what's going to happen. Gold's going to trade to 4 o'clock, so there's time. What I have discovered today is that the 200-day average is now a resistance point. Now, that's not uncommon. You get to it, you try to stay under it, and you fight at it. That's common when you hit the 100-day average. You'll see that, be it above it or below it, and it's at the same way when you go down to it, and now the 200. We haven't been to the 200 in a long period of time, so the first challenge of it gets very, very interesting. Are people bailing? We'll know very shortly what's going to happen there. Notice how the market is riding the lower Bollinger Band. It is not trying to close out of it. It did so yesterday, I believe. There you go. You closed 13.0680, and that number was 13.0810. And today it's trying to stay over it, which is 13.0290 from the looks of it, and it looks like it's going to be able to stay over it. That's bearish. In other words, the market doesn't get itself excessive. In addition, you've got an embedded reading where you've locked in the bearishness of the market so that the rallies get hit by the bears. Somebody is caught in all this, as I've said. I don't see this market just turning on a dime. The gold-silver ratio, whoa. If it were to close like this, I will be saying that you're in a down thrust because you came through there. I don't have the settlement price. Silver is holding up better, though, than the gold market, as you can see. It is not embedded. It hit the lower Bollinger Band. Remember what we talk about on Bollinger Bands, be them on the high or low side. It is often looked at as a near-term objective in the market. And when it's hit, markets seem to run out of momentum against that number. Now, a lot depends if you're in a narrow band of Bollinger going into it or a wider band like this. If they're wider out like this and you hit them, there's a better odds that the market will run out of momentum, be it the top side or bottom, because it's spent itself getting either down there or all the way up. But when they're narrow like this, you're just whipping back and forth. So got to learn how to work with them a bit. Copper market, still in a bearish stage, still got lower highs, lower lows, hit the lower Bollinger Band, oversold, bounced away. I think this market gets a big time pop if we get a deal instantly with China. I think the market walks away continued to be depressed if there is no deal, and I can't imagine that, as I said, Mr. Mnuchin and the elves are coming back with a deal 1, 2, 3. That would be great, but I would rate it near 0%. In the platinum, lower highs, lower lows, running the lower Bollinger Band and working on embedding. Embedding happens when the two numbers that make up the slow stochastic are under 20 for at least 3 days in a row. They're not yet. I said working on embedding. They have to prove it tomorrow. The palladium just oversold, lower highs, lower lows, downside target 914.74. Upside resistance, 972.30, and to negate the downtrend, you have to take out 982. But the most glaring thing to me when I'm looking at the chart is the market is oversold. Then we get to the dollar index, which is a powerhouse. It's got the embedded reading, bullish. This all happened out of sideways action. Remember what I was saying? You look at this, and while you bounce around, when you break out of sideways action, always pay attention, because this is a catalyst. It's like a spring that's inside a tube, and it finally lets go with the inertia, and this is what it's been able to do. It's just caught these traders. It did have one lower day. You realize gold has not. Gold didn't have that higher high day. At least there was one day of a pullback in this market. You've not had that in the gold. This is still a very bullish situation for the dollar, which is bearish on the metal markets. You know how I keep up with this? I'll go down to the trading floor, and admittedly, all the screens are up there, but admittedly, a lot of you know I wear glasses. Sometimes I can't see everything on the boards. You would think they're huge. As big as they are, they're far away from you because you're like in a huge amphitheater. So we've all got our phones, and we've all looking at the markets we want, and I have everything programmed the way that I want to get to it. You can get the same thing that I have. It's going to give you charts. You can trade off of it. You like these videos? They all play right on this for you. They're all located within it. How do you get to try it out? And it works anywhere in the world. If you have a landline, not a landline, if you can get wireless phone, you've got it. Obviously, the best thing is if you got Wi-Fi, but it's going to work off your regular cell carrier. Give us a call. Go to our website. It is free to give you a tryout on all this. And I think you'll love it. You can try it up here. And yes, folks, if you want, you get real quotes too. Okay, so you'll see how this thing works. Lifetime quotes. It's pretty fascinating to see. I'm Ira Epstein. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.